Once upon a time, as a merchant set off for the market, he asked each of his 3 daughters what she would like as a present upon his return. The first daughter wanted a brocade dress, the second a pearl necklace, but the third, whose name was Beauty, the youngest, prettiest, and sweetest of them all, said to her father, "All I'd like is a rose you've picked especially for me." The mysterious castle. When the merchant had finished his business, he set off for home. However, a sudden storm blew up, and his horse could barely move against the howling wind. Cold and weary, the merchant had almost lost hope of finding shelter when he noticed a bright light shining deep within a forest. As he drew closer, he saw that it was a castle bathed in golden light. "I hope I'll find shelter there for the night," he thought to himself. When he reached the door, he found it was open, yet no one came to greet him. Summoning his courage, he stepped inside and called out, but no reply came. In the grand hall, a table was set with a splendid feast. The merchant hesitated, but as no one appeared, and hunger gnawed at him, he sat down and ate. Later, he wandered upstairs and discovered a room with a crackling fire and a soft, inviting bed. Too exhausted to resist, he lay down and fell into a deep sleep. When he awoke the next morning, he found a steaming cup of coffee and fresh fruit beside his bed. The merchant dressed and went downstairs to thank his mysterious host. But once again, no one was in sight. Shaking his head in wonder, he stepped outside to retrieve his horse. Suddenly, his eyes fell upon a magnificent rose bush. Remembering his promise to Beauty, he bent down to pick a single rose. The beast's fury. At that very moment, a horrible beast appeared from the shadows, wearing splendid clothes. 2 bloodshot eyes glared at him, and in a deep, terrifying voice, it growled, "Ungrateful man, I gave you shelter, fed you at my table, and let you sleep in my home, and how do you repay me? By stealing my most precious flowers. For this, you must die." Trembling with fear, the merchant fell to his knees. "Forgive me. Please, spare my life. The rose was not for me, it was for my daughter, Beauty. I promised her a rose from my journey." The beast hesitated, lowering its mighty paw. "I shall spare your life, but only on one condition: you must bring me your daughter." Faced with certain death if he refused, the merchant sorrowfully agreed. He returned home in tears, and his 3 daughters ran to greet him. Upon hearing his terrible tale, Beauty immediately stepped forward. "Dear father, I would do anything for you. Don't worry, you must keep your promise and save your life. Take me to the castle. I will stay there in your place." The merchant embraced his daughter with tears of gratitude. "I never doubted your love for me. Thank you, my dear child, for saving my life." Beauty and the Beast. When Beauty arrived at the castle, she expected the beast to be cruel and terrifying, but to her surprise, the beast treated her with kindness. At first, she was frightened by his monstrous appearance, yet, as days passed, she began to see his gentle heart. She lived in a beautiful room, embroidered by the fire, and dined at an elegant table. The beast often sat nearby, speaking kindly to her. In time, Beauty realized that she enjoyed his company. One day, the beast asked her to marry him. Taken by surprise, Beauty hesitated. How could she marry such an ugly creature? Yet, she did not want to hurt his feelings. He had been nothing but kind to her. I don't know what to say," she stammered. The beast sighed. "I understand." Beauty's promise. One day, the beast gave Beauty a magic mirror. "You will never feel lonely again," he said. Beauty gazed into it and saw her father, gravely ill. "Please, let me go to him before it's too late," she pleaded. The beast hesitated, then said solemnly, "If you promise to return in 7 days, you may go." "I swear it," Beauty cried in joy. She rushed home and cared for her father. Days passed, and soon he was well again. But Beauty had forgotten her promise. Then, one night, she awoke from a terrible dream. She saw the beast lying in agony, whispering, come back to me." Filled with dread, Beauty rode swiftly back to the castle. She searched desperately until she found the beast in the garden, collapsed and near death. "Don't die," she sobbed. "I'll marry you." At those words, a miracle occurred. The beast transformed into a handsome prince. "An evil witch cursed me long ago," he explained. "Only the love of a maiden who could see past my monstrous form could break the spell." Beauty and the prince were married, and the castle was filled with roses. Moral of the story: true beauty lies within the heart. Love and kindness can break any curse.